Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mason's online classroom. Today, what I'm going to share with you is the first part of the bonding methods and principles of brick walls. This lesson contains 3 parts. Namely, 1. The names for bricks on different sides and in different cuts. 2. The types of the mortar joints in the brick masonry. 3. The bonding principles of the brick masonry. By the end of this lesson, we will systematically master the basic common terms and bonding principles in the process of masonry. Firstly, let's look at the first part, the names for a brick on different sides and in different cuts. 1. An ordinary clay brick has 3 faces. The size of ordinary clay bricks is 240 by 115 by 53 mm. One brick has 3 pairs of equal-sized faces. The 240 by 115 mm side is known as the bed face. The 240 by 53 mm side is known as the stretcher face. And the 115 by 53 mm side is known as the header face. 2. The names of different cuts of bricks. Bricks cut into different sizes in masonry can be classified as: 3/4 of a brick is known as 3/4 bat. 1/2 of a brick is known as snapped header. 1/4 of a brick is known as quarter bat. The horizontal 1/2 of a brick is known as queen closure. 3. Stretcher brick and header brick. Stretcher brick, the length direction of the brick is parallel to the axis of the wall. Header brick, the length direction of the brick is vertical to the axis of the wall. 4. Brick on bed, brick on edge, and upright brick. Brick on bed is also known as stretcher brick. Brick on edge refers to a brick laid on its narrow edge. Secondly, let's learn the second part, the types of the mortar joints in the brick masonry. Mortar joint, lying joint, and vertical joint. The joints between bricks are collectively referred to as mortar joint. The joint in horizontal direction is known as horizontal joint or lying joint. The joint in vertical direction is known as vertical joint or straight joint. Thirdly, let's learn the bonding principles of the brick masonry. 1. Requirements for bonding of brick masonry. The upper and lower joints shall be staggered and the inner and outer bricks shall be lap jointed to ensure the integrity of the masonry. At the same time, the bonding should be regular and the bricks should be less cut to improve the efficiency of the masonry and save materials. As shown in the figure, whatever techniques are used, they must adhere to the requirements of bonding. 2. Bonding principles of brick masonry. Brick masonry is made of bricks and mortar through a variety of bonding methods. To make the brick masonry become a solid whole, it is necessary to follow these few principles. First, it is mandatory to use staggered brickwork, which requires that the brick should be staggered at least 1/4 brick length. Second, the thickness of the mortar joint should be controlled to be 10 mm, with the thickest not exceeding 12 mm, and the thinnest not less than 8 mm. The horizontal mortar joints that are too thick or too thin will be unfavorable to the integrity of the masonry structure. Vertical mortar joints should not be too thick or too thin. If there is no mortar joint, the impact on the integrity of the masonry structure will be more severe. Third, the vertical and horizontal connections between the walls are very critical in masonry, and ideally constructed simultaneously. If not, crutches should be left on the previously laid masonry in accordance with the provisions. There are 2 normal crutches according to the regulations: oblique crutch and straight crutch. Oblique crutch, also known as step crutch. The laying method is to build the crutch in the form of steps. The length of the oblique crutch of the solid brick masonry should not be less than 2/3 of the height. The step crutch bonds firmly, the mortar is full, and the quality of the joint is easy to control. But many joints will occupy a significant portion of the work surface. Straight crutch, also known as gingival crutch or public crutch. In the construction, sometimes due to the limitation of conditions, the step crutch cannot be built. Then we can build the straight crutch instead, except for the corners. When it comes to connecting straight crutches, it is challenging to achieve complete mortar filling, and ensuring a strong bond can be difficult. Therefore, it is necessary to install additional tie bars as per the construction specifications. The quantity of tie bars is as follows: add 1 tie bar for every 500 mm, 8 layers of bricks, of masonry height. Place 1 steel bar with the diameter of 6 mm and the length of 1000 to 1200 mm for a 120 mm thick wall. For a 240 mm thick wall, place 2 bars. The rest can be done in the same manner. During construction, the tie bars should be embedded 500 mm into the walls in the junction of the crutches, inner and outer walls and the vertical and horizontal wall, and the joint of the structural column and the wall, and the ends should be built with 90 degrees bent hook and mortar above M5 level. Fourth, the brick wall at the reinforced concrete structural column should be built into the big gingival crutch, R-hut crutch. The size of each gingival crutch along the height direction should not exceed 300 mm. A big gingival crutch should be built back first, then forward. According to the number of the brick layers, it's better to be 4 back and 4 out. If it meets the size requirements, it can also be 5 back and 5 out. While operating, we first draw back 60 mm, 1/4 brick length, and build 4 layers of bricks according to the side line of the sectional dimension of the structural column. And then extend out 60 mm, 1/4 brick length, on the column edge and build 4 layers of bricks. Just repeat it like this. The main reinforcement of the reinforced concrete structural column is 4 pieces, the diameter of each is 12 mm, and the stirrup is 6 mm in diameter. The space between them should not exceed 250 mm. The sectional dimension of the structural column is 240 mm by 240 mm. The upper end of the column is connected with the ring beam of this floor, and the lower end is connected with the ring beam of the next floor or stretch into the foundation. Set the horizontal reinforcement with 2 pieces, the diameter of each 6 mm every 500 mm along the wall height, and each side should stretch no less than 1000 mm into the wall. That concludes our lesson for today. Thank you all for watching.